Hi, everybody. Jen Lois here with Chicks and Salsa. To my right is my girl, Miss Chiefs Chick 87, who's on cloud nine. Underneath
Absolutely.
is Miss Candy. And then she should still be on cloud nine, too, because those Packers, man, this past season, they are one of our happy stories tonight, just so you know, Candy, just so you remember, because they really are a Cinderella story. They and the Lions. I mean, people can be upset about the Lions all they want, but straight up, they didn't even make the playoffs last year. And they made it to the NFC Championship.
The future is bright for the NFC North.
I mean, absolutely.
And then we have, because, our girl Megan can't be with us. So we had to have another Cowboys fan with us. Mr. Paul Spitzer from Out of the Box Sports. And Paul has some great shows. We'll let him tell us about those in a little bit. But sorry, I forgot to play our intro song tonight. It's been kind of a frantic day. So sorry about that, y'all. I usually do that. However, so how are your weeks going?
I had to come back to reality, and I'll be honest, I've had 2 weeks off. I have traveled in my car over 3,000 miles, and then this whole big thing in a cruise ship like that. I don't even know the mileage I went, how far we went in the cruise ship all the way from New York City down to the Bahamas and back. So I just need to find some way to be rich, get paid to travel, and then not have to work. I'm in search of that.
When you figure that out, tell the rest. Just your chicks.
My chicks. And maybe Paul.
Yes, please.
You're not a chick, Paul, so we can't fill you in.
Hey, but listen. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
We'll see by the end of the show if we can consider you an honorary chick or not. All right.
All right. I'm gonna work for it today.
All right.
So I will say that my week started on Sunday, and yes, obviously we watched good football, and it might not have been some of the outcomes that everybody wanted. But before that, I had the honor of taking pictures at the FAU North Texas men's basketball game. And let me tell you, FAU won on a last-second shot to win the game. So it was I have to say, one of probably the best basketball games I've seen. I don't think that North Texas led almost the whole entire game. FAU was up for only 3 minutes. But when I say they were ahead, I don't think they were at any point more than 6-7 points ahead of them at any time during the game. Like it was so seesawed back and forth. It was such a good game. It was just exciting because it was the first FAU game I've been to this year. So basketball, at least. So it was something different. And I hadn't shot basketball in a while, and I was actually sitting on the court, taking pictures. So it was cool.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, my weekend, I have a broken hand. That's nothing big, but and it wasn't from punching my TV. That the Cowboys are not on there for the last 30 years plus. So, I just like Candy said, I enjoyed some good football as well. And congratulations, Carrie, to your team as well. I'm just blessed to see, arguably maybe the GOAT in the future. Who knows down the line? Patrick Mahomes here. I'm just blessed to see the two best teams make it. And as a fan of the game, I'm ready to see some good football. Super Bowl in 2 weeks, so I'm ready to go.
Woohoo! Me too. I will
actually.
It's been pretty good today. Like I said, it was pretty frantic. Like, I'm leaving. I'm taking a half day Friday to take care of some stuff I have to do. But then on Sunday, I leave for Las Vegas. So it will be hi, Brian Snow. So it will be fun. I leave. My flight departs at 7:30 a.m. So just for funsies, I'm going to try to be at the airport by 5:30. So no sleep the night before. Because we all know I'm not good in the mornings. So yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm getting a lot accomplished at work. So woohoo!
Great.
Enjoy.
So we were just talking a little about Carrie, say hi.
Oh, hi Vince. What's up?
So we were just talking, as you guys heard us talking a little football. So this past weekend, what was your favorite, Carrie? You have to go with your favorite play in the NFC Championship game.
In the NFC.
Yeah, just because you're AFC queen.
Well, I'll be really honest. I was impressed with Purdy's leg work because we really hadn't had a lot of exposure to that. Whether it be that I wasn't able to see as many games due to conflicting schedules or what have you. I had not seen a lot of his leg work, so that was impressive. I didn't know that he really had that in him. That being said, I'm not going to lie. That first touchdown that the Lions got was pure exhilarating. And I was rooting for the Lions. So, that was probably my favorite just because it was so exhilarating and exciting and it got him off and going. So.
Okay, Facebook user, who is this? You came up as Facebook user. So, because I know you since you spelled your name my name correctly. All right, Carrie, I'm going to let you respond to Vince.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, he also sounds like he does not sound as much like Kermit Frog as he did the night that he was drafted. And the night he was drafted, I sit there was going, "Oh my God, please, 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 please." But it's gotten better. He's obviously been in with a voice coach. Let's just put it that way.
Maturity goes a long way, doesn't it?
Okay, sure. I really think he was put with a voice coach because you don't get a lot of maturity in 4 months. So I think that there was a lot of voice coach work there, and that's okay. I mean, applaud however you want to. But when I first heard him talk that night, I was like, and we're giving up Alex Smith for this. I mean, we're giving up class, and we have someone that's very eloquent, and then now we have Kermit the Frog. Outstanding.
All right, Candy, what was your favorite play from either game, or if you want to pick one from each?
My favorite play. Oh, I was exhilarated by when they would pan to Ford Field and all the fans that were in Ford Field watching that paid
so cool.
$20 a ticket just to see how that city embraced. And I was on a podcast on the South Florida Tribune on Sunday morning, and I was talking with Smokin' Jeremy B, who, congratulations, had his 1000th episode last night.
Shit, we forgot.
But, well, I was on it, so I represented the chicks. But
Jeremy, I'm so sorry. I had every intention. I was giving my husband the cold shoulder. I was too busy being mad at him. I'm so sorry, my friend. Candy, I interrupted you again. I'm shutting up now.
We were talking on it, and we were saying how excited the whole town was. Like, he was wearing sports, Detroit hat or what Lions hat or whatever. And the minute he would walk out of his complex, everybody would start talking, and there was just a buzz and how excited the fans were for that town. I feel for them that, that they lost, because I honestly feel that the Lions lost that game. It wasn't that San Francisco beat them.
No, they let San Francisco back in, so they gave him that game.
They didn't score on that touchdown that should have been from Flowers, and it was his fault. He did fumble that ball, but he should have had that. But it was just exciting to see a fan base, and I really am. No offense, Carrie, I'm sad to see that there aren't new teams in the Super Bowl, because I really feel that excitement, we need some of that excitement.
No, I agree with that. Here's what I'm going to tell you is I've been sitting and thinking about this. First of all, my favorite Chiefs was my guy doing the Superman catching parallel to the ground, catching the to convert first down. That has to be my favorite play. And then my favorite Carmen play was Flowers at the goal line. But I now see what I was doing to the Patriots fans, and I'm not sorry because I didn't enjoy the Patriots run, but I understand now what they were seeing from their side. I did not think my team would be in the Super Bowl, and not because I don't have the faith. I just didn't think that. I thought that Patrick Mahomes would wear the team like he did our second Super Bowl visit, and we know how that ended. We also know how it ended when he did that for the Raiders, against the Broncos, against the Lions this year. So when that Patrick Mahomes shows up, even though he has the will to win, it isn't always pretty, and it doesn't turn out in our favor. So that being said, I was not expecting what I've seen. So that it was interesting to watch that game, though. I was really not wanting to do a lot of commenting on Facebook or anything because it was catching me off guard as a fan.
I said I made you mad on Facebook. I misspoke.
Oh, oops. Oh, well.
One of the things I said before that game, and I could have said it before any of the last, especially in the playoffs, teams have to do everything right, especially the small things. And it's when you make mistakes that they're magnified in a game of such significance, and it comes out. And normally it's not on the good side of things if you make mistakes. And that's what, unfortunately, the Lions did. That's what the Packers did. They made mistakes, and so they lost games.
Oh, Paul, I would like to hear your favorite game, move, or play from either team or either game.
You know, it really wasn't a play, honestly. It was just like Candy said, you know, as a fan of the game, I love seeing how they panned to Detroit. It's been 30 plus years. You know, these fans just show the passion, the dedication of something, win, lose, or draw. It was just from the opening kickoff to the 60-minute factor. That's what I love to see as fans, number one. You know, as Candy said, you like to see new teams get in there. You know, feel for the city of Detroit. You know, me being a Cowboys fan, it's been damn near 30 years, and I understand that, you know, how they feel. Going to the other game, the Kansas City game, from top to bottom, it was a great game. But the one thing that stands out to me as a coach up here where I live, I coach JV football. To me, it was something that I never want to see one of my players do. Zay Flowers conduct himself the way he did on the field. To me, you know, be a role model to your team. Understand that. Taunting, I hate, number one, being, you know, it was a great catch, but you know what? Act like you've been there before. I know you're a rookie, but act like you've been there before. This isn't your first rodeo. Kids look up to you. And then going down to the 1 yard line, fumbling the ball, it's like Carrie said, that, you know, the play that she loved as most there, of course, you know, benefited her. But the other thing was seeing Lamar Jackson. People look up to this guy throwing his helmet on the sideline. You know, I don't look at that because I looked at that game like I clipped a lot of that stuff saying, you know what, when I go back to my team this off season, I'm going to show my team this, how not to react. You know, because one bad play doesn't justify it. I preach short-term memory with my team. You know, one play doesn't mean you're going to lose the game. It means, you know, rally around that, go to your player and say, hey, it's okay. Next play, short-term memory. Let's get it back. To me, that's just what I see.
That Odell Beckham Jr. actually did that with Flowers. Totally shocked me a little bit, knowing the diva-ishness that he has. That he was, in that moment, he decided to be a team player, and he went up and he's like, "Hey, listen, this is, you know, this is not the end of the world." But Flowers went over and slapped the bench and injured his hand. There was lots of things, and it was like, yeah, I like when they have those, and I call it gritty. Get the emotion in there, but be smart enough not to do it over somebody or at the sideline. Do it like it, you know, find your way to get your peace sign like Tyreek did in his glove. Turn around away from the team and do your antics, which is what the defenses do every time in the end zone. Do that. Make that your celebration.
And you know what? That was a rookie mistake. That cost them 3 points there because they went to 32-yard line on that play there and pushed them back 15 yards out of field goal range. You know, that could have been a difference in the game too. Not, you know, it would have been still a 17-13 game, but to me, it's just, I understand it's a learning experience, but that's not the time to make mistakes in the AFC Championship game here. To me, it's just lack of, I don't even know the word, really. Honestly, it bothers me so much when I see players that make millions and millions of dollars. It's like Pop Warner football all over again, fundamental football 101.
I really think that the fact that the Ravens went out in 3, the first play of the game, or the first series of the game, and the Chiefs scored on the first series of the game, really messed with Lamar's psyche, and that switched the game forever.
Agree.
I think those 2 drives were the pivotal drives in the entire game.
That's funny. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
That reminds me of the Packers game there. Candy, you're a Packers fan, correct? That reminds me of the Packers game here. Hey, you're in Dallas. They score 40 points a game. They're elite. Well, we're going to get the ball and say what we're going to do here. We're going to go right down the field on Dallas, score. And then you know what? It's like, holy hell, what the hell just happened here? We're at home. We're supposed to be elite. How did this 7th seed team come in here, which is not even supposed to be here this year, come right down and score us? Well, the psyche is a little bit different now. That's exactly what the Chiefs did, too. They got in Lamar's head right away.
Well, I think 2 things happened there. One, the Ravens brought into their own press way too much. However, my favorite play, one of my favorite plays happened, and it was actually Mitchell's first touchdown in NFL. And that was just so sweet for me. Like, I loved that for him. So sadly, it was the only touchdown the Ravens got, and later in the game, he was injured. I hope he's okay. But I'm glad he got that. 2, don't mess with Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. I have literally, in my lifetime of really paying attention to sports, okay, which has only been 20, 30 years, I've only seen a couple of players, men, walk in with that look on a consistent basis. Tom Brady. Cam Newton did a lot. Not every time. He didn't have it all the time. Your boy Aaron, Candy, and my man, Christian. And by the way, Carrie knows this. When we drafted Cam, I was mad because I didn't want somebody who stole stuff. And now I'm like Cam's biggest defender. Just saying. So, but the breakup's better now that he's okay with it. But that was my favorite game. My other but I did love seeing everybody go to Detroit too. Y'all made me feel bad for not saying that earlier. But my favorite thing of the entire thing, I nailed the freaking playoffs. Did I not? Every single down to the points, Paul. Down to the points. Well, except for the Ravens game. I expected that to be a lot closer. But down to the points, I nailed it. And I wasn't even upset during the NFC Championship at first because I was like, they ain't feeding my boy Christian. This defense hasn't adjusted yet. And at halftime, know what a Super Bowl winning coach does at halftime? Kerry knows this answer. They adjust. You know what Steve Wilkes did? He adjusted. And Steve Wilkes, Sam Darnold, and Christian McCaffrey are why I want the 49ers to win.
Absolutely. Why not? And then the narrative out there is really funny because the 49ers will be in the white uniform. Mm-hmm. And it's 16-3 white winning uniforms opposed to the red ones.
Mm-hmm.
We beat the 49ers in red. We beat the Eagles in red.
Okay.
So they're trying to, they're like, well, when the visiting team, but we're also one of the losses in whites when we lost to Tampa Bay because we were in white.
Yeah, but didn't the 49ers barely lose to you guys in the last Super Bowl they played?
They were winning, and they went down and celebrated in the end zone, and then we came and we scored, wasn't it like 27 in the last quarter of the game or something?
Yeah. I'm just saying, they've had about 4 years to think on that.
I'm just...
However,
listen, I'm reading Kenny's message, and he's like,
as a head
he would
coach,
be
they have Kyle Shanahan, who is known to blow big leads. Just saying.
reading Kenny, and Kenny, please do not misunderstand the fact that I am not excited about my team. I have been a fan since I was a little girl, and I have suffered through the many years of us being the couch potatoes before the season was over. I mean, like, there was no shot in anywhere that we were going to even see what a postseason looked like. I'm the fan that is so used to having such a large time between combine or the end of your season and the combines that when the first time we won the Super Bowl, I was like, how is this so quick? Why does this happen so fast? Well, duh, because our season was extended. Those are the type of things. So I am not selling short or discounting this. I am just a realist as a fan, and I was not expecting the God mode team to self-implode in the first quarter and then spend an entire game trying to find their way. And the fact that Lamar never ran very much, what? That is Lamar. Although he did have an epic catch of his own pass.
That was really
the Cam Newton. The Cam Newton. He did that against us too. We lost a game against Cam. We won against Lamar. So, but that's where I'm coming from. Is I'm in shock.
Version of Cam.
Yes.
All right. So what are your closing thoughts? What do you think the score will be in the Super Bowl, Carrie? And if you want to come back to this topic next Tuesday night, we can.
Well,
I'm going to try to find a fun place to come podcast from, by the way.
I would have loved to be able to podcast from the ship, but I did not pay the $160 for internet. I think it's going to come down to the wire again. I think there's two very strong defenses, and there are two young men that are at quarterback that are bound and determined to prove who they are. They've got Brock Purdy that has everything to prove, saying that everybody's still giving him, well, he's a game manager, which we did not watch a game manager play football last Sunday. And then we've got the Chiefs where everybody doubts us, and they're getting bulletin board material after bulletin board material after bulletin board material. So that's a dangerous thing to give the Chiefs. That being said, I think it's going to come down to a 3-point game. I think it'll depend on who has the last, and by golly, I hope it's the Chiefs.
And I love you, but I actually hope it's the 49ers.
I know.
That's because. Now, Paul, who do you think it's going to come down to?
I believe what Carrie said, I think it's going to be a close game here. Spags and Wilkes are two defensive coaches that can make adjustments here, of course. So I think it's, pick your poison of what's going to happen here. It's going to be a chess match no matter what. But, going back to that Niners-Lions game, everybody's blaming Dan Campbell, but everybody forgets Aaron Glenn gave up 27 points in the second half too. There's a difference between, defensive coordinators too as well. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs here because the veteran appearance to me with Mahomes, you can't, knock out Mahomes. Andy Reid's been there, done that. Spagnuolo has been there. He's done that as well. I think it's a close game. I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs here. I'm going to go 27-24. I think it's a last minute field goal. And whoever has the ball first is going to win the game. But I'm going to go Chiefs here. I think you got to ride with them, just like Carrie said. I don't call it bulletin board material. I just call it, shut the naysayers up is what I say. Nobody thought they would be here, losing what they did this year. Everybody says, yes, you made it to the Super Bowl, but this is a down year in the Chiefs, my eyes. It's a down year for them. They're always expected to be better. What better way when you turn the playoff switch on Patrick Mahomes? Everybody calls him Kermit, whatever. But to me, he's the MVP for a reason, and you can't disregard him. So I'm going to go Chiefs 27-24.
In Bucker, we trust. Go ahead.
You can't. Paul, you have a message from Scott.
Is that from South Tribune?
Yes.
Scott, I would definitely get in touch with you. I'm sorry, I haven't been avoiding you. I've been so busy, sir.
It's all right, Scott. I know the truth. I'm still waiting for my bug, Scott, now that I know you're actually watching. Mm-hmm. Now, Scott's lovely bride, Miss Candy.
Yes, yes. Who do I think? This one's tough because I think both defenses are going to come to play, and I think that's really going to play a role. Do I think San Francisco can do it? I have to give kudos, Jen. Let's face it, Christian McCaffrey, I think he is might be the key to the game. Because I think if they can really establish their running, because now Green Bay was running on Aaron Jones had a pretty good game against San Francisco, and everybody thought that wouldn't happen, and it did. Now, if Christian does win, and they win, that'll be the second time a father-son players have won for the same team have won Super Bowls.
Wait,
I was doing some research on that.
I played for the 49ers? I know he played for the Broncos. I know he won 3 Super Bowls with the Broncos. I didn't know he played for the 49ers.
Yes, that's what I read. That Steve and Zach DeOzzy are the only other two. They played for the Giants that have won Super Bowls with the same team.
That would be cool.
So that would be a different, interesting way to look at things and stuff like that. The other thing I thought that was very interesting, and probably we might be talking about this next weekend and stuff too, but Terry Killens is going to become the first person ever to play and officiate in a Super Bowl.
Isn't that cool?
Cool?
That is really cool.
That's cool too. But back to my prediction. Patrick is magic, and like he brings himself to another level. Now, will the San Francisco 49ers bring themselves to that same level? I'm going to say if Christian can have his game I think they can do it. If he's not on, I think KC. But I think it's going to be a 3-point either way. I don't think we're going to see like a blowout game, and I don't think it's going to be high scoring.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a repeat of last year where everybody was enjoying the 35-38 game. I think it's going to be close. And our spy, O'Montague, is out. He tore his ACL, so he's out. That's a hit to our defense. Willie Gay with neck injuries, that's questionable. I mean, even if he is cleared now to go, it's a neck. That's scary stuff. So we've got some, and we're going to have to use Nick Allegretti as opposed to, and I just lost his name, with a torn pec muscle. They're waiting to see if he has to have surgery or not. So our defense is missing some key components that we've done so well. But then we have Snead that has shut Tyreek Hill down. So can Snead do the same thing to Brandon and CMC? Who knows?
Remember, CMC is one of 3 running backs who's in the 1,000 club.
No, I that's what I said. We're going to have to tackle. They were trying to tackle and missing tackles on Lamar. They had him down and he walked out of it. So, and did that long pass for that first touchdown that he had was sacked.
And I'll say this also: Christian and Sam both played for Steve Wilkes as our interim head coach. All 3 are on the same team. I'm just saying. Christian was there obviously first, but I mean, I think they're playing. Sam's obviously not going to play that much, right? Hopefully he's not going to play that much. No offense, Sam. But because I want Sam Darnold. This man has been through NFL hell and back. He went to 2 teams one team that was known for quarterback purgatory. I mean, hell, Candy, they even took down Aaron. But then he came to Matt Rule, who was doing that also. But with what that they went through under Matt Rule and David Tepper, and I'm a Panthers fan. Y'all know this. I think Tepper's just too passionate. He needs to chill. But I think he has the best of intentions. I'll say that. But those three, they're playing for something bigger than just the Super Bowl and winning it. However, poor Olivia, because I'm pretty sure Christian winning the Super Bowl the same year they're getting married, Super Bowl excitement's going to kind of usurp the wedding excitement. So, sorry. Okay, that was supposed to be funny. Hey, now I'm going to start with you on this story. Then we're going to go quickly to our Cinderella stories also. So, Paul, what do you think of Vince McMahon stepping down?
I try to stay away from that stuff, honestly. I mean, I'm a wrestling fan, of course, but when the allegations are brought against him, you have to step down. I mean, I don't condone for that. I really don't like that. It's something that I'm against. I hate exploiting certain things and using, his allegations of what he's had on there. Of course, I'm just so grateful that he's done and, what they're bringing into the WWE now, because we do a wrestling podcast on our show. And actually, Ken Fry is the host of that show, The Atomic Drop, on Fridays at 10:30 p.m. So they were talking about it a little bit, of course, and I was checking into it, but I just don't condone anything like that. I'm so glad he's off of there. I mean, he's a legend in his own way for bringing the WWE to what it was, to where we are at now. Yes. But it's when you make a mistake, regardless of what money you have, what you own, what your name title would be, it's time for you to go, because, just imagine if that was someone's daughter, the allegations, how would you feel as well? So I'm glad he's gone, honestly. That's just me, I don't know. I just condone all stuff like that. I really do.
And sadly, he just kept firing his daughter because she was running it pretty well.
Yeah. Stephanie, yeah. All
right, Candy.
If these allegations are true.
They are. Because he didn't pay.
I can't imagine working for anybody or being underneath that. It's just so sad. I mean, honestly, it's sad that someone of that stature, of that position, would use and abuse his power in that manner. I don't care who you are, female or male. There is no business that being part of any of it.
Mm-hmm.
No part.
No part.
That's kind of a narcissistic trait. Just putting that out there. Vince was past his prime. I mean, I think we can all say that he had probably played out his role in because I don't follow WWE, but I thought he was beginning to look like a clown out there when they were showing his promo clips and stuff. And I'm like, you look like a freaking clown. You need to be, this is no longer your stage. But people that abuse power and use that to get things from other people, regardless of what it is very sickening to me. Probably because I've been on the other side of someone that did that to me. I can see it very quickly in people now. I identify it, and it really makes me uncomfortable in any situation. So I just think it's really a disgrace to what the legacy he had built to end it this way.
I wondered how long it was going to take for him to be ousted again. Because being from North Carolina, the rumors about his daddy have always been out there. How Vince was treated as a youngster are well reported, especially in the Goldsboro, like up through the Eastern Carolina. I had family in Eastern North Carolina, so I'd be like, who's this? And they'd be like, that guy on TV right now, that's Vince McMahon. This was when I was like little, and they'd be like, this is the stuff he went through. Like, I mean, it made like the rumors about how his dad treated the kids and his significant others, shall we say, really made it from Goldsboro, North Carolina to Raleigh. Like, it wasn't even on the news, but that's how bad it was. That being said, and Paul, you said something so interesting to me. You wouldn't want to treat your daughter that way. He doesn't care. He doesn't even care about his kid. Because his daughter was doing good things. She's looking into health insurance. These wrestlers don't have health insurance. Can y'all imagine? And WWE is one of the lower paying ones. Like, honestly, like, Alton switched as soon as AEW came out. He switched from WWE to AEW. Because, like, honestly, the Khan family treats their employees better. I'm kind of excited for Cody Rhodes to come back. I'm not gonna lie, but they can keep CM Punk because he's a punk. But good riddance, Vince McMahon. Does anyone know, and Kenny, you may know this, who is going to be the next president? Because I didn't see that yet.
I believe it's either The Rock or Triple H. Triple H is in ahead of everything right now. And either that
That's
or it's
right.
going to be. Yeah.
Triple H. Alton said something last night, so thank you.
Yeah. But you know what, going what you said there, Jen, it's to me, it's like, you know, I'm friends with a lot of females and I'm blessed to be on the show with you guys, you know, you beautiful ladies here. And to me, like, I'm friends with a lot of lady, you know, podcasters, of course, sports podcasters out there. You know, some of them I listen to, some of them I don't, you know, but the ones I do listen to are the ones that talk football, talk sports, of course, that don't exploit themselves. You know, I'm friends with a lot of women who just go on there and I tell you, like, man, I'm lucky to get 1,000 views on Twitter, you know, this and that. But I see a lady come on there with makeup and, you know, a short shirt on and whatever, they get 1 million views and they don't know football. To me, that's exactly what this is. It's exploiting, you know, the sexual aspect. I'm sorry to say that, but that's to me what bothers me. Like, I hate being exploited in different ways. You know, even you watch some kind of commercials, you know, men being exploited in certain ways, which some people like and some people don't. You know, to me, it's vice versa with the ladies here. It's like, why do we use that? Why can't we just all be neutral here and just say, you know what, let your passion, let everything convince you of what you do and don't like. I just don't like it with, like I say, with the daughter thing. You know, I'm blessed to have a 16-year-old daughter in my life now who we did custody of about a year ago. About 6 months ago, we were blessed to have her in our house. And she came from, you know, my girlfriend's family. We blessed her in here. And now I look at things a different way here. Like, what would I do if that was my daughter, number one? You know, I tell you what, I might be in jail right now, honestly, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
You know, I'm gonna say something, Paul. You were talking about how the whole gender bias and, you know, kind of touching on that. Do you know this week I was told to get back in the kitchen because I didn't know football?
Wow. You know what? I was told I was Asian and I don't know football. So, you know, hey, you know, but that's different, but not the same, you know, it's not the same coin there.
No, but
what I took away from what Paul said is that we actually know football. So if we start showing a little cleavage, we might hit 1 million views on Twitter.
Oh, good Lord.
Come on, Carrie. You know, I know you know how to sew or know somebody who knows how to sew. Like that cute little
I guess I could break out my swimsuit. I didn't get to wear all of them yet. So
come on, Candy, V-cup baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we work for Banks. Never mind.
Okay, I'm sorry. Going back to if you're done with the WWE, I do have one question for you. I would like to propose a question to you girls regarding the Lions San Francisco game. Who lost that game for the Lions? Honestly, because I put on Twitter and
honestly,
you know. I put on Facebook, like, look, I'm a fan of the game. Number one, I see everything as it is. I have no coin in this game here, you know, so I see it differently. Just like I said with Aaron Glenn, you know, 27 points in the second half, adjustments weren't made on his behalf. Receivers didn't catch the ball. Yes, I understand 6 points were left on the game there, but 27 points given up in the second half versus 7 here. Defense adjustments were made. Who do you blame for this loss here? Campbell, Glenn, Goff, O-line, D-line, receivers? Who do you blame?
okay, Kenny, I need a link, and I'm going to record this. So let me know when I'm going to see this.
That will be on Out of the Box Sports Entertainment tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. The Bat Cave Kenny Fry with his halter top and lipstick.
So I have to work in the building tomorrow. Someone got to send me screenshots of this one.
I don't think the Lions lost the game. I think the 49ers readjusted, especially their defense. Brock shook off his stage fright because remember last year in the NFC Championship, Carrie, who did they lose to?
The Eagles.
Yeah, her fiance is an Eagles fan.
I just threw up. Sorry. Oh,
the Kelsey family is not the only family that had a division of the house. So
sadly, no.
But they what was I gonna say? Oh, 49ers readjusted. someone had to come to Jesus Talk with Brock to get it together because his footwork, and Carrie, you mentioned this when I asked what your favorite thing was in the NFC Championship. His footwork, 180 difference in the second half. He was running kind of scared in the first half because, I mean, the Lions, Dan Campbell, genius. I'd always wondered why no team ever took the football first. It was like, why not take the football first in the first half and stack on the points? Because if you're losing, you've already got that losing mentality, right? Well, the 49ers, see, they have these guys on there. Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Greenlaw. They're kind of known for being positive and really amping up their locker room. I don't know what Brock Purdy is. I really don't follow the 49ers that much. I follow my guys. That's about it. But I just think that they adjusted, and I think the 49ers won the game. I don't think the Lions lost it.
I think we should mention that Dan Campbell obviously did not trust their kicker.
Oh, God, no. He publicly said he says a prayer every time he goes on.
So,
Thanks,
I mean,
visit us again.
So that is the lack of trust in your kicker. Why do you think I did in Bucker We Trust? I mean, if you don't have a kicker, yeah, well,
we were stupid.
Yeah. So that was the weakness that was exposed and exploited because, yeah, Dan Campbell's biting him in the kneecaps, and I love his mentality. Love it, love it, love it. That's why I really enjoyed watching Detroit and rooting for them. The fact that he did not have a kicker he could trust, and that is a key component when you get to the level you're at where you are now, because every drive needs to have some kind of points. You can't have drives without points and expect to win.
Another reason I brought that up, because the fact that Ben Johnson announced he's staying in Detroit today. Go back to that game there.
I called this with my dad last night.
Montgomery has 83 yards in the first half. Okay. They ran the ball 23 yards in the first half, 27 points on the board there in the first half, running all over San Francisco. Your bread and butter is to run the ball. Golf can be golf. Let them take what they give you. Play action will happen off the run. Second half, you're up 17 points in the game. Why do you run the ball 7 times total in the second half? You abandon the run. You abandon exactly what got you there. Now that I put on Twitter today, maybe teams are seeing this. Wow, in a big game, he can't really call the plays right. You abandon what you did. Now teams don't want him. So what's the best thing? Well, I might as well just stay in Detroit now. Owners and, people look at that. That was just my thing. I was like, as a coach, I'm like, wow, if I'm going to run the ball 40 times a game and the first half I'm going to run 30 and I'm killing you, I'm up 20 points, I'm not going to abandon a run no matter what, what happens here. Because when you throw the ball and you go 3 and out, that brings the other team back. The momentum switch is, credit to, the Niners there. Purdy climbed the pocket, kept everything in front of them, threw the ball where take what the defense gives you. Kudos to them. But I blame a lot on the entire team here, not only just one person.
Mm-hmm. I will say this. Ben Johnson actually had, from everything I have heard, had an unofficial offer from the Commanders.
They were on the plane coming to get him before he announced that he was staying at the Lions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and then I saw that he wanted a 4-year contract, and they told to match what the Panthers your coach got, and they said no, we'll only do 6, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But I do think that Paul, you hit the nail on the head. Is they saw what happened in the big moment, and they're like, no, we're not going to give you that much money for a short period of time. You've got to be a longer commit. We're going to start making this as a little bit more unattractive to you to see if you're really committed.
I mean, I would have gone to Washington because they have 5 draft picks in the top 100. They're building new ownership with the Harris Foundation. A new coach, you're going to be on a 4 or 5 year window. I would have took that. You're not on the hot seat your first 2 or 3 years. You're rebuilding the team, especially giving up Chase Young, Montez Sweat, of course. So you gave everybody away for nothing. Rebuilding is in the situation for the next 3 to 5 years. That's a great philosophy for him to go to. 5 draft picks in the top 100, salary cap everywhere. Why not? You got the second pick in the NFL draft, build your own team. But I think a lot, just like you said, Kara, I think a lot of the owners out there saw this and said, well, we don't trust you, what you did in this game here. Of course, you did great for, Detroit, of course, what they've been through getting there, but maybe you're not the right answer. Maybe you're like, Dan Quinn, you're only good as an offensive coordinator, going back from the Atlanta days there. Great DC, not a great head coach. How about you stay with the OC situation? We don't know.
So I'm actually going to disagree with both of you. And Candy, I want your input on this too. And I know we have to tighten up soon because you've got another show. But I actually was on the phone with my dad last night and I said, Dad, the Lions didn't even make it to the playoffs last year. We stopped them in their tracks from the playoffs. We did. The Panthers did that. They made it to the NFC Championship this year. They are literally one game away from the Super Bowl. Why would Ben Johnson, who's integral in that, lose that opportunity to take his team that he and Dan Campbell have spent the last three years building? This has been done in the last, this is their third season together? So, yeah, like, why would he do that? Because, so I kind of disagree. Now, maybe he did win a longer or shorter term contract to match what Rule's going to do. What Canales got. But here's the thing. David Tepper is the second wealthiest owner in the league, including the only other one that's more wealthy is the Broncos owner, the Waltons dude. So I think it was he wants that ring because you go in as a Super Bowl winning OC, money, money, money. And those opportunities will be available next year. What if Johnson actually wants to go to the Cowboys? Because it's very, all we know for sure is Mike McCarthy's there next year. We don't know anything else. What if somebody comes buys out DeMarco Ryan's contract and he wants to go to the Texans? I don't know why I'm picking Texas. What about the Jets? Doug Peterson's not leaving your Jags. Canales, I give Canales 2 years under Tepper. Or Tepper sells. Hopefully Tepper sells. But no, Candy, what are your thoughts? Y'all know what I think.
I think that Ben Johnson has done an awesome job with the Lions so far. Let's face it, they've put the right pieces together for longer success. Let's face it, this isn't a one and done team. They're building, and they're building the right way. Did they fall short? Yes, they fell short because everyone wants the expectation of the Super Bowl. But that doesn't mean that team was a failure. That doesn't mean that team wasn't a success. There's only 2 teams that make it to the Super Bowl. And I don't know why we as a society have to judge everybody and say the only way it's a success is if you win the Super Bowl. You're only going to be an elite quarterback if you're constantly winning the Super Bowl. You can be really good and yet not win everything. Now, and I'm not saying that you get participation, all those little
Yeah.
But isn't the winning record for the season, isn't that something to celebrate? Apparently, I posted that on a Chiefs page, and I think the wounds are healing from when I got attacked, and I'm like, okay, so listen, I lived through good griefs for many, many, many. I'm used to being built up, and then it gets the stool gets kicked out, and you don't even know where you're going to fall. Yeah. So I think I think we have misplaced where success is and what success is.
I can see it from both sides. Being a Cowboy fan, you have top to bottom 53-man rosters being the elite top 3 roster every year. So to me, I'm the different. I believe Candy's exactly what you said. Carrie's the same thing. The participation trophy. I'm done with that with my team personally because the elite roster that we put together, we can't get over that hump. You get eliminated. So to me, every year it's called 2 words. We suck. Very, very simple with my team. We suck that bad. When we have the roster we can't get there. But I do agree with that 100% what you guys said regarding that. it's not a season to be disappointed. Look at the Lions here. You go from, Dan Campbell, why is he being hired? Well, you go under 500. You barely hit 500. Now you're 12-5, one step away from that pinnacle. The ceiling is high for them. And I think with Ben Johnson, one of the reasons, I don't want to say why he went there, I don't, it's my opinion. He went there, he was told, because Goff is a free agent this coming year. Okay. That's a big pinpoint there. What is their bugaboo? Their defense. They need help on that defense. If they can solidify that defense on the side of the ball, they can knock down the Super Bowl door again, because they are young, very young. And they have two great head coaches where I would run it through a wall for Dan Campbell as well. I would run through it before he does. So I think the future is bright for them.
Hey guys, we really have to end the show. Paul, you've got to come back on. I'm kind of thinking next week maybe we can talk some coaching stuff too. But Candy does have another show literally in 6 minutes, and I said that before I saw her private chat. So we do need to end the show. That way I don't get into the hot seat with Scott. So
and ladies, please, hop on my show as well. Your door is always open. We have 19 shows, and we're going to be hitting our 700th show in 2 weeks live. So I'd like to have you guys on the show pretty soon.
Sounds good to us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Paul, Stan, after this show, everybody hit us up. Like we always say, ping any one of us, me, Megan, Carrie, Candy. If you have any topics you want us to talk about, put it on the wall and the Three Chicks Facebook page. Sorry, couldn't remember the name for Facebook since they're streaming there. So, everybody have a great week. Get some rest this coming weekend. Start planning your Super Bowl foods, and we want recipes. And Paul, we're definitely having you back on.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Much love, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you.